Once upon a time, there was a UX expert named Laura. She was a highly experienced and skilled professional, known for her ability to create user-centered designs that made digital products easy and enjoyable to use. One day, Laura had to give a presentation in front of 100,000 stakeholders. She had spent weeks preparing her slides and practicing her delivery, but the morning of the presentation, she realized she had forgotten her flash drive at home. Laura panicked. She knew that her presentation was critical to the success of the project and the stakes were high. But she didn't let her fear get the best of her. Instead, she decided to improvise. With her laptop in tow, Laura walked onto the stage and began her presentation. But instead of showing slides, she decided to take a different approach. She began by talking about the importance of user-centered design and how it could be used to create products that people loved. She used examples from her past projects to illustrate her points, and she shared her insights and expertise with the audience. She also took questions and engaged in a dialogue with the stakeholders. To everyone's surprise, Laura's impromptu presentation was a huge success. The stakeholders were impressed by her depth of knowledge and her ability to think on her feet. And the project ended up being a huge success, thanks in part to Laura's user-centered design approach. Laura learned a valuable lesson that day, that sometimes the best presentations are the ones that are improvised. And she never forgot her flash drive at home again. The presentation was a huge success and the stakeholders were impressed by Laura's depth of knowledge and her ability to think on her feet. But something unexpected happened during the Q&A session. One of the stakeholders stood up and asked a question that caught everyone off guard. "What's the point of all this?" he asked. "We're just cogs in a machine. We're not making a real impact on the world." His question struck a chord with many of the other stakeholders, who began to realize that they were stuck in jobs that didn't fulfill them. They had become so caught up in their work that they had lost sight of what was truly important in life. Laura saw the opportunity to share her own experience and she went on to share her own journey from being a cogs in the machine to finding her true passion in the field of user-centered design, how it gave her a sense of purpose and fulfillment. Hearing Laura's story, the stakeholders began to see things in a different light. They realized that they had been living unfulfilling lives and they decided to quit their jobs to pursue their own passions and enlightenment. The company was left with a lot of empty seats, but the stakeholders were happier than they had been in years. They were finally doing what they truly loved and they were making a real impact on the world. As for Laura, she continued to be a leading expert in the field of user-centered design, and she inspired many others to find their own path to fulfillment. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider liking the video and subscribe to be notified of freshly baked, frightfully generic stories.